Hi, in this video I will show you how I've built a scraper for a client that gets 5 leads per day. So if that's interesting to you, stick around and check out how it works. So the first step is scraping the leads, in this case from event websites. We find the website and the artist name and their website. We put that we go to the website of that artist, we find there the contact details of their managers, and those are our ICP. So first you figure out where are your leads hanging out, event websites, you can find them there, and then you go to the website and you scrape it. So here you go, for example, to this link to get scrape the event website on SongKick. Here are a few settings if you want to mirror it. That's how it works. Then we parse it, so we don't need the HTML, we only need text, because the text will be used in the GPT node, the AI node, so it can recognize the names and output the useful information for later processing. And to get fields, so we can actually get a variable. We can say in the email copy, artist name, and then it will input the artist name. So we can write the email as if it's personal for each lead, and we can make it seem like we reach out to them specifically for a specific reason, like we're on their event, for example, or we noticed something, or we found their for sure you can say like we found you on this website. So there's always a reason for outreach instead of, hey, I scraped this database like Apollo, like everyone does, or I scraped Sales Navigator. Nobody cares, or like nobody, everybody does that. So it's not special, it's not unique. So if you can stand out as if you did your own research, you came across them with an actual reason, that will help. That is how we do it. So to get the name event, so this recognizes that here as well. So all this goes back, parses it, removes HTML, lets AI find these variables, the event name, event date, even. So you can reference a specific element, for in our case a date of an event. So hey, for your next event, does it make sense to do XYZ? We can help you do XYZ. So that's how we do it. And then you get JSON, so you put it into variables, so you can just copy paste it, or the AI, the automation, can paste in the variable exactly referenceable with, for example, artist name or event date. We search Google, so using Google we find the official website, and then so we get the results. You can use Apify for this. You can get the results back, the search results, and then AI will identify maybe link number 2 is the official website, maybe number 1 is a listing on a popular page or event website, but we need the official website. So AI can judge instead of that we just expect the first link to be the right one. So the first 5, it would probably be in there, and then you can let AI figure it out. So we need to get the homepage, and then it will be, in this step, it will be not yet. Okay, so in this step, it gets the homepage HTML. In the HTML, it also has the navigation links. So when you say, when you have a case study page, where you have an about page, also very useful. Contact page, that is the most useful in our case. On the contact page is often, or even the booking page, a tour page, you can get the contact details of the right person, or you can get the information that you need to personalize. If you want to say, congrats on achieving this amazing milestone for this client, maybe you have to go to the case study page and you can use that information. You already have the email, but you want to personalize. You can do the same thing. Scrape the website. So first you get the raw data, HTML, then you get the link. You use a code node to extract all the links and put them in a list. This will be like here, like this. So when we have all these links, we want each link to be its own item. So in Google Sheets, for example, a row is an item. And instead of having all links in one item, we want each link to get its own item, but also get all the same information. So it duplicates itself, or it splits out basically. Instead of 10 different links in one item, you get 10 items with each its own link. But each link should still have the information that it is that artist, that event name, and that event date. It should, every link of that artist should have this information inside of it. So that's what this does. And then we send it in batch. It's just to, this is a lot of data, and N8N is pretty affordable, but they make it affordable by limiting the computing power. So the RAM that's available. You don't want to send too much data in one workflow. So if you do a little bit, send it to another workflow, which is what we're doing here. We send 15 items. So one artist may have 40 links, just 15 links per time will go to another workflow. And then it will complete, and after completion it will also wait a little bit more, just so that the RAM can be emptied, because the little workflow is complete, and then it can run the next one. So this can also take quite a while sometimes, 44 minutes for example. So I will be showing you the other workflow now. So this is where it gets sent. 15 items it gets, then it filters the link. So there are certain things that we want. For example, contact details, then we want the about page, the contact page, the home page. If we want case studies, we want to get the results page. Any link that has the word result in it, client or success. So the filter, you can put like 50 words in there, and any of those will be accepted. If it's maybe useful, you can still add it, and then AI can filter out, or just check if there's any details on there. So then when you have these correct pages, so Instagram will be filtered out, because we cannot really scrape Instagram using the native node here, and we also don't need it. It's making things complicated and not even useful for the complication. So the website is where we need it. If you want Instagram, you can set up a workflow for that. That is very possible. Here actually we get the amount of followers, we scrape it from Instagram. So it is possible. In this case, we don't need it. So we filter out all the social links. And then the remaining URLs, so maybe the homepage, their contact page, their about page, or in their booking and touring page, because there are the manager, booking manager, touring managers in our case, is what we will scrape. So maybe 15 come in, maybe 3 are good to be scraped, or 5, 7, or 0. If 0, it will just complete the workflow and send the next. If, for example, 5, it will scrape 5 subpages. And then it will get one of the links, and then in a sheet it would be an item, and then a column is called link, for example. And so that field of this item, it will get only the content of that column, or in this case, this item, the link, which is a URL, which is what we have generated before. So it gets those, and yeah, it parses again. So now we don't want the HTML. Before we wanted the HTML because it contained the links, the navigation. For example, if we take only the text, we don't get the URLs. So in this case, the subpages, we want actually only the text. So AI will get this prompt, a system prompt, telling the system what it is, what it does, who it is, and then a prompt, which is, and we want to tell it, for example, what is the role? Is it an artist? Is it the artist manager? Is it general contact? Is it just info at with no information? That is general. So these are qualified, or these are the roles that are even just possible. Maybe there are some more. It will probably then say it's either this or artist because it's the artist website. So it would tell it to give us all this information or NA. So it just needs to output something for each field. So in Google Sheet, it will then put NA. So we know, okay, it has checked, but there is no social link or no Twitter link specifically. We tell it how it should output it. And here we give it the parsed HTML. So it's just the website text of the pages, all the pages. Okay, the output randomness is how creative do we want it to be. If it's 0, it will follow the instructions to a T. If it is 10, it will just make something from it what it wants. So it's very creative, or actually 1. So output is either 1 is max, 0 is very strict, not free thinking, it's just step by step, very instruction based, and then or anything in between. So if you want it a little bit creative, you can do 0.4, for example. So yeah, get contact details. Contact details, it will process it with a big complicated prompt. You can use ChatGPT to ask exactly, okay, this is the information I get, I want this outcome. And then you can make it as complicated as you want because the AI will just code for you and it doesn't have to take your brain power or a lot of time. It can be almost instant. So merging the information, filtering out also the contact information that we don't need or that doesn't seem useful or whatever you want, you can basically automate using code or filter out the irrelevant and do whatever you want with it. These are actually a few steps in there. I won't go into it. It will be a long video if I do. Here we get, using Apify, the amount of followers that the artist has. So this is very useful because we don't want too big of an of artists or too small. Too small is not useful for the product that my client offers, and too big also not, or at least not yet. And so it processes, and then there is, if it's the right size, if it is between 10K followers and 1 million, then it will follow this flow. If not, or if follower is not available, follow account, for example, if there was no Instagram link on the website, then it will also, or if it's less or more than these numbers, it will follow this one. So here, if it's the right size, it will wait, just so that every lead doesn't get added in split second in Google Sheets. We don't want to overwhelm Google Sheet, and then it will limit. It will say, okay, too many requests, so we want to wait a little bit. We add an ID to it. So, for example, a timestamp plus their email address or their first name and the artist name, and all together we can identify. We can make it a unique idea. So we can make sure we don't, if we get the same artist again, we don't want to have two artists or the same, we don't want to have duplicates. So it can then recognize that that the contact is already in there, and we don't have to add another one, basically. So then there is adding it to the Google Sheet. So you can have a Google Sheet with the column names. The first row is the name of the variables that we created. For example, link or source link, meaning where we scraped the contact information from, or official website, official artist website, artist name, etc. So you put it in a Google Sheet, and then you can put all the information in the right column, and then you can put the Google Sheet export of the complete list inside of Instantly, which you can also automate, but I will go over that in another video. You can simply scrape this and then also automatically send it to Instantly via Instantly's API. But that's for another video. So the same thing here. It's just here we will identify, this is just the same sheet, copy, a duplicate, but then not qualified, basically. So we still have the leads if we want to use them at some point, but we don't want to use them right now. So put them in a separate sheet. Then there is the results. So just today, there is quite a few leads here. Just 5 in. Yesterday there were 5 leads, and today it is a little bit more silent. Today it's Saturday, so this is the outcome. This is what it can do for you if you have such a system. And like the video, and if you want, in the description I will have some part of this for you to download or copy paste if you want to use some of this for yourself. See you in the next video. Bye.